And welcome to Awesome Archie's Guide to Christmas. Now, I know we all know what Christmas is, and it's not as if I need to talk to you about actually what it is, but this is our guide and our hints and tips for a more mindful and considered Christmas season for our neurodivergent loved ones and for us as neurodivergent families. So we hope that you might be able to take a few little bits that we've learned over the years and chuck it into your Christmas so you have a bit more of a chilled time, because we all know Christmas can be a bit crazy, can't it? So the magic that is Christmas. Welcome, everybody. Christmas is a season of joy, excitement, carols, lights, gifts, family gatherings, and loads of delicious food. It's the time of year that we all feel like we can just relax, let ourselves go. So often there's a lot of Prosecco floating around, and we can all act a little differently to how we do normally. But for Awesome Archie and his brother Herbie, all of the things that bring Christmas joy to so many can cause real disruption and occasional upset for them. It's important to say that they both love Christmas. As a family, we all do. But their awesome autistic brains mean that it can and often does feel very overwhelming. But why is this? Like many autistic individuals, Archie and Herbie face challenges around their social communication and their interaction. They have many sensory differences and a real dislike for changes in the usual day-to-day routine. And of course, Christmas is a whopping change. It can't be hard to recognise then that Christmas, no matter how brilliant we've tried to make it, is going to impact them. And sadly, it impacts them negatively often. And this is because, and we've picked out the three that are more kind of prevalent for us: the sensory overload, the change to the normal routine, and the social demands. And so I've unpicked this a little bit so that you can perhaps understand them a little bit more, and hopefully it might resonate with your family members too. So Christmas lights on the high street, festive fairs, and carol singing can be massively overwhelming for Archie and Herbie. The enormous change to their usual routine and the many social events can also cause them to become very overwhelmed. And then if we don't watch that, they can withdraw. If we don't closely monitor them and monitor myself, because being a primary carer is tough, particularly when you're neurodivergent like me, we can all fall in very quickly to autistic burnout. And that wouldn't be fun for any of us, especially over such a precious family time. If you want to know more about autistic burnout, then there is a post on my Instagram about it. Just check us out there. So that makes it all sound very bleak, but it isn't, because there are lots of things that we can do to support ourselves and our neurodivergent loved ones. Now, these may sound very simple. They may sound, well, obviously, but you would be amazed at the amount of parent carers who contact me at this time of year to say, but we've been invited to Auntie Joan's, and Auntie Joan doesn't like it when the kids don't eat at the table, or Auntie Joan doesn't like it when the kids make noise. Well, I try to say it in a professional and polite manner, but I would always say that that's Auntie Joan's loss. If they don't accept you and your children for who you are, then it's okay to say, actually, we'll make other arrangements. And sometimes being told that gives you a sense of freedom that you didn't know you had. And we'll go into that a little bit now. Our family Christmas is different to pretty much everyone else's we know. And that's because we tailor Christmas to our own children's needs. If we're hosting Christmas, we will always, of course, encourage our boys to sit and eat with us. We lay a place, we put a cracker down. They know that they are welcome with us. But if things are too much, often there are 17 to 19 people at our house on Christmas Day. If they want to just actually take their plate and eat it in the lounge while watching a Christmas movie, I'm there for it. It's their Christmas too. Present opening. They open theirs slowly throughout the day. There's the normal frantic get up in the morning and, ooh, has Father Christmas been stockings, obviously. But that's a little bit easier to manage because there's only the 6 of us who live together. But the rest of the time, the opening presents can be very, very overwhelming. We're blessed to be in a massive family. And that normally means, that even if our family members only bought the boys one present, it's a lot of presents to open because we've got so many family members. So our family know that our kids will open them at their own pace. Often, to an outsider, they would look very ungrateful because there's quite a, do we call it monotone when it's on the face? I know that's normally when we speak, but kind of a flat expression. That's what I'm trying to say. That doesn't mean they're not grateful. It doesn't mean they're not happy. It just means that they're trying to deal with lots of other things around them. And so to help them with that, we as their parents, we say thank you to the gifter on their behalf. It means that we're reducing the boys' social expectations and another phase of overload. And then we always get the boys, because they've got phones and that now, we get the boys to WhatsApp a message to say thank you, or we send a picture of them playing with the thing that they've been given as a thank you. It's just trying to navigate our way around that. Comfort. For any of you who have been following us for a long time, you will know that I have been guilty of this, and I am saying we all make mistakes, me included. I used to be the mum who would say, right, let's get the matching pajamas, let's get the matching jumpers, everybody line up, smile. And actually now, every time I look back on those photos, this was before I started my job here, this was when I was just sort of posting as a mum. Now all I see is guilt, because I remember how Archie and Herbie would be itching because the Christmas jumper is too much, or the pajamas they didn't feel comfortable in because they're not their normal pajamas, or they were the new kind of cool Christmas pajamas that we all match in. And I do regret that. I've learned that was something I did for me. I wasn't doing that for them, and I don't do that now. They are allowed to wear what they want on Christmas Day. And I know that, again, that may sound simple, but some families have quite a rule. It's Christmas Day, you need to dress up. And that's okay. But if you have a child who doesn't want to dress up and they're not comfortable dressing up, then they should feel welcome and feel accepted in a tracksuit, if that's what they want to wear. So we try to allow them to be comfortable in what they want to wear. This feeds into their autonomy. So before Christmas, we chat to them about what they would feel that they would like to make their Christmas better. Now, obviously, we can't do everything they want, because realistically, they would say they want to wake up at 3 a.m. to open their stockings, spend all day playing online games, and eat nothing but sweets. Well, no, there's autonomy and there's healthy parenting. But as much as we can, we tailor to them. So again, if they don't want to eat Christmas dinner with us, don't eat Christmas dinner with us. If they don't want to play the family games, don't play the family games. For us as a family, when we're at another person's house, both my husband and I drive. Thankfully, we're lucky enough to have 2 cars. And so we're able to, often it's me, because I get overwhelmed too, when it comes to the evening and the kind of party games and that gets started. Herbie absolutely loves the party games. He wants to stay. But Archie, it's too much. He's done. He wants to be quiet. So often on Christmas Day, if I'm not hosting, I will be leaving wherever we are with Archie, and then we will have a kind of chilled out in our pajamas watching rubbish on the telly Christmas evening. And that works out so much better for us as a family, because we're actually not stressing out. We're not forcing something that isn't genuine. We're not sitting there trying to mask and trying to essentially get through the day. It works out really nicely. And we're lucky our family are so understanding. They know our kids come first, and we've never, ever had an issue with that. So we're very grateful for that. It's okay to say no. And at this point, I want to say an enormous thank you to my mother-in-law, Sheila. So we normally alternate Christmases. So one year it's, because again, big family, it's a lot to do. And financially, it costs a lot. All that meat and veg, it's a lot, This year, it was supposed to be our year to host. But without going into too much detail, the last few months have been tricky. We've had a little bit of family illness, and there's been a lot going on. And I said to my husband, sort of back in September, I can feel I can't host Christmas Day. I can't bear the thought of doing it. And again, because my husband's lovely and supportive, again, he knows I'm neurodivergent. He does what he can. He messaged his mum and said, Becky's not feeling it this year. Can you step in? And thankfully, thank you, Sheila, she has. So Sheila's going to be hosting Christmas Day for us, even though we should have been doing it. And I know I'll be cooking some meats and bringing over bits and bobs, but the weight that has been lifted because I was able to say, I just can't do it. No, I can't have everyone this year. It's just too much. I can't do it. Has been amazing. So thank you, Sheila, and thank you to my lovely husband for organising it. And this is how important it is for you to say no as parents on behalf of your children. Because if you know that yet another social event, another, that how many nativities do we need to see, honestly? How many times do we say, oh, come over for Christmas drinks or come over for Christmas dinner? Oh, come and visit. We haven't seen you all year. If you know that yet another social gathering or a party, no matter how beautiful it may be, is going to negatively impact your child or you, then just say no, thanks. It's very freeing. And I understand that as neurodivergent people, so often we are people pleasers. We immediately go into the space of, well, if we say no, they're not going to like us. They're going to think we're a bad friend. I can't say no because what if something happens to them and I don't see them again next year? All these thoughts can come into your head. But actually, it was when I've been lucky enough to have some therapy, and it was when someone disclosed to me, if you had to choose disappointing somebody, disappointing a friend here, or disappointing your child, which are you going to choose? I'll always disappoint my friends for my children. Sorry, friends, I love you, but nothing comes before my children. And it was almost like someone had given me that freedom to say, oh my God, yeah, okay. So I might be keeping my friends happy in that moment, but actually, am I doing what's right for my child? And even if your child is happy in the moment, if you as a parent are overloaded because you're doing too much, you can't be an effective, happy, calm parent. You can't be. You're just exhausted. And then you can head yourself into burnout, which, again, no one wants to feel like that at Christmas. And we always find that if you explain that you're reducing the social demands for your child and for yourself, because you want to protect that precious family time, then real friends, loving family members, they'll get it. If friends don't get it, that's a sign for probably a good reason why you didn't step out your kind of comfortable zone to bend for them, because your child comes first, and if they knew you and loved you, they'd understand it. It's also important to say that the next Christmas is 12 months away, and we know as parents a lot can change in 12 months. Your child at the moment might be 4, might be probably on the way to an ADHD diagnosis, and you might feel overrun. I know, I was there. Actually, that year can make such a difference. You could have had a diagnosis. You could be having therapy. They could be on medication. And again, we know neurodivergent conditions don't disappear, but as time goes on and as our children grow, they're just able to manage things a little bit easier. And as parents, we are more able to kind of manage it ourselves, learn, advocate, etc. So it's okay to say no this year. Think about next year. It's their Christmas too. So over the years, we've learned that the more we tailor our Christmas to our own family's needs and not to what is socially expected or to the needs of others, then the happier our Christmases are, and these are precious. It is not selfish to put the needs of your children first. It is not, no matter what anybody says. Putting the needs of your child first is brilliant. It means you're an incredible parent. It isn't selfish. Real friends, loving family members will get it. We've said this before. If they don't get it, maybe you don't need to worry about them quite so much. You should never feel bad about putting your children's needs first. And I can say this with experience because our children are much older now. Our kids are able to vocalize that they're grateful. We'll come home Christmas Day and Archie will say, thanks for bringing me home, Mum. That is the best Christmas present that I could ever receive, knowing that I've done something that has really made my child happy. It's a wicked feeling. So we at Awesome Archie want to wish you a truly awesome Christmas. And we want you to own it for your family, for no one else's, for yours. No matter how you choose to celebrate it, know that you're not alone. There are hundreds of thousands of neurodivergent families who will be celebrating in their own way alongside you. So I know it can feel lonely and I know it can feel overwhelming, but just remember that you really are not alone. And we at Awesome Archie Nonprofit are always here to try and help celebrate with you in the best way that we can. Happy Christmas, everyone. Thanks for watching.